A question I hear often from viewers is, where can I get a C-band satellite dish? A couple of years ago, you would have been able to order a dish like this. This is a mesh dish for C-band satellite. You would have been able to order this online. But in the last couple of years, because of some economic and supply chain material availability issues, these types of dishes are really no longer available to buy online. The only C-band dish that seems to be available for purchase online are those white 6-panel solid metal dishes, and those ones are a little bit unusual because they don't have a traditional polar mount like you see here. They have sort of a ring mount design that sort of limits those dishes to be used only as a fixed C-band dish, which is totally fine. Both of my C-band dishes are stationary, but you have to understand that you probably won't be able to mount a motor or an actuator on those. So if you buy one of those, you're going to have to just fix it on one satellite at a time. The price of those things can vary as well, anywhere from probably $400 up to $700. That might not include shipping. You can buy them on sites like eBay, and even some big box home center hardware stores will even offer them for sale on their websites as well. They sort of look like this dish, but they're not the same. Something else about those dishes is that they tend to sit very low to the ground. So if you live in an area that gets a lot of snow in the winter, those might not be right for you. I live in an area that gets lots of snow, and I wouldn't mind having one of those dishes to putter around with, but I'm not ready to shell out the money for one right now. If you're looking for one of these kind of classic traditional mesh style dishes, or perhaps a fiberglass or even a solid metal one like you see on screen here, then another option would be to source out a dish locally. This is probably your best option. There's lots of these dishes around still. A lot of people have them in their yards, and they've been sitting in some people's yards for 20-30 years. Some people that maybe have recently bought a house might want that dish gone. They might want to use that space for a deck or a garden or a hot tub, who knows. And often you'll be doing them a favor by removing that dish for them. Of course, to get to that point, you have to somehow find a dish. One option might be to put out an ad on a site like Craigslist or Kijiji. And in the ad, it's a good idea to make it clear that you're a satellite TV hobbyist and not a scrap dealer. A lot of people might think that people looking for these dishes are just looking to sell them for scrap metal. I always try to make it clear that I'm a satellite hobbyist and I'm not going to use this dish to sell for scrap metal. People are probably more likely to give you the dish or give it to you for a good price if they think you're going to use it for what it's intended for. Another option might be, if you're brave enough, to stop by, and if someone happens to be outside in their yard and they have a dish like this that's just sitting there, you could always try to strike up a conversation and ask them about it. They might be happy that someone has inquired about the dish because they might want it gone or moved. So you might be doing them a favor, like I said, freeing up space in their yard, and at the same time you get yourself a nice C-band satellite dish. Another option as well might be to just leave a note in someone's mailbox with your contact information, and hopefully they get back to you so that you can go and pick up your new C-band dish.